Hello everybody, welcome back to Collecting and Hobbies. If you're a Mint-On card Star Wars collector, prepare to be horrified, as this sucker is about to be busted off the card. I've been hearing a lot of people say these are made, exclusively for people who, nostalgia. To take this off of the card would just be Star Wars blasphemy or something. But yeah, I'm a Mint-On card collector too. But the way this arrived, yeah, it's not exactly mint, which was disappointing. But because it's a new character that I don't already have open, and this is his first release in the 6-inch line. You're gonna open them up, I guess. Now, one thing I noticed right away, this figure is significantly heavy compared to, say, that one over there. It's Princess Leia. This one's light as a feather, which is also busted up pretty bad. It came in the box like that, so even if you have a mint condition shipping case assortment, doesn't necessarily mean that they're 100% mint condition, as you can very clearly see. So I'm gonna pop these suckers open. Okay, so the first thing, we'll go over the packaging real quick. There's a Star Wars Black Series logo in the corner, the right-hand corner on the back. There's the traditional Star Wars logo. This is somewhat reminiscent of the original 12-back cards that came out in 1978, in the early 1978. There's the Legacy, stand, Legacy pack, 40th anniversary. And here's your date code. This was made in the 96th day of 2017. So that would be like April, early April. And here's some pictures of the figures that you can also get. Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and R2-D2 are all part of a different assortment. Now, same assortment, but the different case, and be the first wave. So those figures are a part of wave 1. The Death Star or Death Squad commander, he's part of wave 2. And so is Tusken Raider or Sand People, C-3PO, Jawa, the Stormtrooper, and Chewbacca. And then the Darth Vader is exclusive only to this stand right now, and costs twice as much as everybody else, which is kind of off-putting to a lot of people. But there's a lot of people that are finding them for about $30 now. They're on sale, which is pretty inevitable. Okay, so on the front of the card, you got this looks exactly like the original, except for that warning right there. But pretty much not the greatest picture of a Death Squad commander. And if you notice, he has earmuffs on and some kind of headset and then a wire going down. So that particular Death Squad commander, he's busy. He's doing something. And this one, here's his holster and his blaster. So this guy is more like a, like when the Luke and Han go into the detention center to try to rescue Princess Leia, they have a couple of these guys in there, and that's probably what he'd be for. All right, so let's get this guy open. I can't open this on camera. Well, not really, because I just don't have enough room. So I will partially do it. Hold on. One thing Hasbro did do, they put a little piece of tape over a tab. So this tab, you could lift it up, and then you'd be able to lift the bubble off the figure relatively easy. But there's a possibility some companies, they have this type of thing, but they'll make it where the bubble can basically come off without ripping the cart. It would be glued or attached just to another side of the bubble, which is also sealed to the cart. But yeah, I hope they go that route sometime. Maybe the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back figures will be like that. Or hopefully the new vintage collection figures that are coming out in 2018. Okay, so there's the tape. Took it off. Now, if you're not careful, this part is perforated. So if you pull on it too hard, you'll rip the top off. But more than likely, you might be able to do this with a hairdryer. I don't know. I've never done that kind of thing before. You can get the bubble off without damaging the card. But yeah, so I'll try to lift it up from here. See, I can't really do this on camera because of the angle. See, stick some scissors in there. Let's have some leverage. I just stuck the scissors in there and fucked it up a little bit. So there we go. Not too horrifyingly bad. Alright, let's see, let's try to do this all on one side now. Well, it's pretty much coming off all by itself now, so there you go. And there we go. Not too bad. I've already gone over this. I've already gave it a good once over. The figure itself, see right there, silver paint is a little bit on his belt too, in between the middle part and the part on your right. That's really the only major, if you call it major, error, at least that you could see inside the packaging. Oh wow. So when I pulled him out, his helmet came off. His helmet's really in there, just stuck in there. Alright. And of course, last but not least, his blaster. Alright, so here's his accessory. This looks a little bit like the Rebel Troopers, the good guys too. And it also looks like Lando's blaster. It comes with the Black Series Lando figure. I think they're all the same gun. So you get a little silver paint on the end. That's about it. Pretty detailed. It's alright. Not like extreme high def detail, but I guess that's good enough. They probably could have put more details in it, especially seeing that this figure is basically just a piece of black plastic and with a couple drops of paint on the belt. Here's his date code if anyone's interested. It's exactly the same as on the card. So let's see what the copyright says. It says 2016 or 17. Actually, it doesn't say at all. Alright, so I guess since this part came off, this is somewhat, believe it or not, this rubber gun. This is probably a little bit more rubbery than this. The strap is very bendable. But yeah, it's semi rugged plastic or whatever you call it. It's not real soft, not real gummy. A lot of things, and people complain about that too. So maybe Hasbro is listening, but I wouldn't, especially if I were a kid. I could see that these straps breaking really easily and be kind of brittle. So let's go over the head sculpt, which is something I haven't actually seen close up. His eyes are, uh, yeah, they're kind of sort of mismatched. It's not real good. It's not real bad, but you can definitely see a little bit of a difference. And he's just got brown hair, kind of curly looking. Not really a whole lot to the sculpt either, but it looks like they tried. Yeah, looks like it looks like there's a lot of indentations, but the paint kind of covered up. And the paint on his neck, there's his little the hinge joint. A lot of times those don't match up. You could definitely there's a little bit of a difference between the paint on his neck and the color of his skin. There's the Galactic logo, which is tampographed, but it is somewhat blurry, somewhat fuzzy. It's not real clear, but not bad. And the only other paint he's got on him, I think, is these little belt buckle things on his gloves, besides his belt. That's about it. His jacket, like the lower half, is very rubbery, very bendable, extremely soft, pliable. His holster's a little bit more firm. Stick his gun in his holster real quick. Yes, he's got just a regular kind of gripping hand, and then this one's got a trigger finger. So the one with the trigger finger is probably the one you're going to put it in. And we'll do that real quick. See if I can get it in there. Kind of got to move the gun a little bit, just slightly over to the figure's right, and you can get the trigger finger actually in the hole. It's not a perfect fit, but it does hold it. Now I'll try, I guess, in his other hand real quick. Of course, he doesn't have a trigger finger, so it looks a little out of place, I guess. But he does hold it. He actually holds it tighter in this hand. Or maybe not. Kind of. I don't know. The grip is a little. It's hard to say, but should be used not doing so. All right, so now one thing I just now noticed is there's a little button right there. Almost looks like they were going to give him like a strap and go over to hold the gun in, but they didn't do that. Maybe that's screen accurate. I'm not sure. Or maybe they were going to put one there, and then they just decided to cover it up. I don't know. As far as I know from watching the movie, I don't remember seeing a strap. If they did have a strap, it was already undone because they just kind of pulled that gun out real quick, like when they pulled Chewbacca in there, and he walks up to Han and Luke right away to to get close to Chewie because he's supposed to be a prisoner transfer. So he draws his weapon, so he can put Chewie in the dungeon or whatever. Dungeon, cell, whatever you want to call it. So he's got the basic same articulation as any other Black Series figure. I was looking to see if he had any kind of. Almost looks like he has like a swivel at his gloves, the end of his gloves, but he does not. He just has the, the swivel and the hinge at the elbows. Same thing at the arms, the head, the whole 9 yards. Then same thing down here. He can still move his legs considerably. Let's see, get him into a seated position, about like that, because of his bottom of his jacket. So you can't put his legs all the way up like Darth Maul or something, but they do go up a good 80% of the way, I guess. And then he's got the ankle rockers, double jointed knees, and the little hinges on his feet to make him go up and down. And of course the thigh swivels. So let's put his helmet back on him, because it does cover up all the errors a little bit. Well, not really. But it kind of makes them less noticeable. So there you go. There's your... Let's see if he stands up well. This table's not real steady. So he does, you lean him over a little bit and he'll stand. And that's about it for the Death Squad Commander. I really like this line, the 40th anniversary. I like keeping them on the cards though, but the ones that like him that haven't been released yet in any other way, which he should be re-released in a red and black box later on down the road. Or at least that's what Hasbro was saying. All these figures that are new to this particular assortment, they're going to be re-released and boxed. They're going to be repacked. That way, they recover funds for, making new figures. I didn't really go over the helmet too much. There's a lot of detail. And the helmet looks pretty accurate. Maybe not perfect, but pretty close. It's got the golf ball holes. And there's what it looks like on the screen, I guess. I still think that's kind of funny that they use that picture. That guy looks like he has blonde hair or gray hair. Looks kind of like an older guy. Not the exact, not the greatest picture for a action figure. Just some old man sitting there.